When my grandmother passed away, I think she was 92 years old or something like that. My father told me that she is now totally relaxed. And I remember that when he said that, and I thought that's true. So the life may be seen as not so heavy duty work, but having lived to 92 years old, she may have, accomplished whatever she wanted to do or whatever and passed away. She liked me a lot, and I remember of her spending time in the garden. She talked to me about her younger days and what she did. She was growing what's the name of that insect? The glowworm, for the silk in those remote part of Japan. It's a small story, but I remember that one too. Also, what I remember was she didn't feel like dying. I guess she had some dreams every now and then. She was panicking a little bit. I was maybe 6 or 10 years old at the time, maybe younger. I remember that. So my inclination to look into religion may have something to do with that experience. I felt her. I felt sorry for her feeling like that. And life and death, living life, I start to think about it. Not the heavy duty thinking early on, but later I get into Zen meditation and study lots of scripture and different religions. I think overall I am happy that I have gone through all those experiences. I have gone through some awakening experience I talked about, and I understand many ways that religious scriptures or Zen, some koans, puzzles, I can understand what it means. So one of the reasons why I talk quite often on the voice memo or through YouTube is trying to communicate some of my understanding. Knowing that everybody is different and the inclination may be different, and my way of explanation and sharing may or may not help, but I find it somewhat meaningful, or maybe quite meaningful for me to go through this process because by talking, you have to organize thought. And having done this in various settings, like when I was a management consultant and working, more you talk about things and share the ideas, you get better understanding, deeper understanding, and that helped me a great deal. At the company called Boston Consulting Group, they had a Monday morning meeting. They also have a good practice of thinking in writing. That was to share the thought in writing among the consultants. This is like 45 years ago. I spent a little time with Boston Consulting. And so writing became a habit, and I wrote books and videos. I did that. And now at the older age, or quite old age of 72, I start to use the voice memo. It's kind of like a reinforcement of the thought and the important point that I capture. And when I do that, I think that helps me. So if everybody does it, more information on the YouTube. And if you happen to be liking my style and the way and the contents of what I talk about, I think I may be able to share something that is meaningful for you as much as I'm getting the benefit. So, as always, I said, I try to do what I like and share something that is meaningful for other people, then you find the right passage. And even though this may not fit to many people, it doesn't matter to me. If I can share this with someone, I have few people I know they read and I appreciate the comment and be able to connect. And that is meaningful for me. So that's the story related to grandmother and my religious inclination and the reason why I do this. But going back to the becoming relieved as the death falls on you, I think that's very true. Buddha says that life is lots of pain, suffering, and he shared lots of views, and I studied and practiced ideas. And one of the concepts is like through meditation. In meditation, you don't do anything, you just sit and empty minded. And it's the no mind. The mind can create lots of unnecessary thought. Mind, if it used well as a tool, it can work well to live better and share the information among the people like we are doing now. But if we abuse it and with some limited view or limited understanding or narrow view from the ego, it's limited. So there's a negativity, but the positive side is profound. That if we can share, understand better, and communicate better, and enhance what we can do as human being in this planet and over into the next dimension of the universe we may go, and we are on its own way. So life is full of burden and suffering, but also lots of benefit. And if you can share and discuss and promote those positive way of looking at it, I think that'll be great. So the bottom line, back to the grandmother and the death, is a relief to nothing. It's a kind of like a Zen way of thinking, or the Buddha's teaching is everything is like nothing. It's the Heart Sutra. And the nothing is everything. From the nothing, everything pops up. And the Buddha nature, the become Buddha, awakening and the promoting is what we may be doing as a living species, as human. And my grandmother passed away, and I received some of the message from her. And then I'm doing something of my portion, and through this voice memo or YouTube, maybe transfer to someone else. And hopefully we have that vehicle and avenue provided using the internet and accomplish something meaningful. So when I say no mind or nothingness, it may sound scary. Nothing is, it's beyond word. And if we say everything is nothing, what's the meaning? And that's the question. I think I'll leave it as that because, in a way, it's just a different way of looking at life, the world, and the use of our mind, and the emptiness that we can realize in meditation when the mind is clear and observe the situation as it is, not interpreting but directly. And out of that may come interesting insight. So hopefully this is just a little talk about my grandmother and the life ending with relief. And my desire, wish, is to sort of like the death, encountering the death before we die. I have some videos mentioned about facing death is a good training. And I tend to agree with it. And if you think of death as nothing, and it goes to nothing, and if everything is nothing, yet we have this life energy and the will to live we can feel, and the sensation that we have, we may appreciate more while we live. So moment to moment practice, living our best, and be happy, and say good luck, farewell, at the end of your life. Agreeing everything, no argument. When time comes, it happens. So that's a little talk. Thank you for listening.